Hey everybody, my name is Jennifer. This is Metatron speaking, and this is my 100th video. Yay! So I'm very excited that I have a 100th video. Um, this channel just started in November of 2022, so it's not that old, but I've been burning out the videos as quickly as Metatron is giving me information. You might notice my voice sounds a little different. And right after I recovered from that last cold, my kindergartner brought home something else. So I haven't lost my voice at all, but it does sound a little bit different. But I think it's going to be fine. So, 100th video, thought it would be nice to do something nice for the viewers. Because, how else are you going to celebrate a 100th video? So I thought about doing a giveaway, and Metatron was on board with it, and Metatron decided what to give away. And so the service from Orange Light Energy, which is my business that I have with Susan, the service that Metatron chose to give away to one lucky viewer today is our Astral Realm Deep Dive. So I'm going to explain what that is because that's not a service that many places have or anything similar to that. So I'm going to describe it in good detail for you, and that way you can decide if this is actually a service that you are interested in. Um, Ultimately, if you would like to be entered to um, be a possible winner of this free service, then you'll just want to comment in the YouTube video, this video, comment that you're interested in this service, the free service, and you'll be entered to win. And Metatron will ultimately pick which winner from the comments that gets the service. But let me tell you a little bit about it. So, like I said, it might not be for everybody. We do a lot of different work at Orange Light Energy. We have energy healing services, which is kind of more of a typical service to offer. We have services where we can look into your past lives to help you release trauma. That's our storyteller Akashic Realm reading, Akashic Realm, Akashic Records reading. Thinking about the other service. We also do a lot of different activations. So our activations are designed to either connect you more with your psychic gifts or connect you more with any of a different variety of guides that you may have, galactic guides or angelic guides, guides like Merlin or any other kind of mystical energies like unicorn energy, dragon energy. So we have lots of those. We also offer many of them in a Swedish version, which is told in the Swedish language. We will ultimately have all of them in Swedish, but right now we just have some of them, so you can take a look at that. But this service, let's talk about this. So first, we're taking a deep dive into the astral realm. So what is the astral realm, right? So the astral realm, how I describe it, is this space in between Earth and heaven or the higher dimensions. And this space, this astral realm, it encompasses the first, second, and third dimensions, the third dimension overlapping with Earth. Um, so it's the lower dimensions. It's the space where demons reside. It's the space where people who have passed away are supposed to go through this space kind of and go through a white light tunnel and end up on the right dimension side with God and the angels. Um, so it's an interesting space. So let's just talk about it a little bit. Do, 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 do. It's a low vibrational space, as you can tell from the fact that that's where demons naturally hang out. Um, Souls can get accidentally detained there. So when you pass away, you're supposed to move on and go through that tunnel and move on to the other side. Sometimes people have a really traumatic death, really sudden death. Sometimes they just really didn't want to die. They really loved. Sorry, Oliver's walking around. Oliver, hey, 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 come here. Sometimes, come here. Of course, he's like being drama. Sometimes people really loved their Earth life, and so they really don't want to move on. Do you want to put your pretty face towards the camera? And if you don't really want to move on from your earthly life and you've died, there's a good chance you can get stuck in that astral realm. You're so handsome. Okay, could you like lay down though so that the camera doesn't wiggle? Sorry, he really bumped things around a bit. Um, so when souls get stuck in that space, sorry, it's gonna drive me nuts now because we're gonna just have trouble with this video because I have Oliver stepping on my cord. There we go. Lay down, baby. Got my camera all crazy angles. All right, we're gonna get this done. Um, so when souls get stuck in this space, because it's a low vibrational space, the emotions are low vibrational when you are stuck in this space. So a lot of times people are angry, people are sad, people are scared, and the overwhelming energy. If you ever go into that space, you probably won't. But if you're ever in that space, it's confusing. Um, Stop it! Oh my gosh, she's trying to eat my cord. Okay, I'm gonna find where I am in my notes. I swear. Oh, the other thing, sometimes when I go in there, actually a lot of times when I go in there to look for souls, um, a lot of times they're sleeping in there, which is kind of mind-boggling, but we can talk about that. Um, some of the souls kind of wander out of this astral realm and kind of wander onto Earth, and that is kind of what people associate with hauntings, are souls that maybe either they don't know they're dead or they just don't want to go through the white light for whatever reason, and they start visiting their relatives or visiting places they used to love to go. And so that's kind of where we get the ghosts from. Um, so, in my opinion, this is a fascinating space. I know most people must feel like this is definitely not a fascinating space. And you never know what you're going to find there. So, it's very interesting for me. Because demons are in that space, you need to be careful because if you're someone like me, where you're actually going into that space to try to retrieve souls and help them out, um, demons don't really like it when you do that. So sometimes it causes a kind of a backlash from them. So you just have to be going in with your guides and have the right protections and everything. Um, Azrael is an archangel who works in the astral realm, and he assists those souls with moving on. But there's a lot of souls in there, and probably because of the energy of confusion in there, a lot of times they're wary of Azrael, or sometimes they're wary of me too, and they don't want to listen to him, and so they don't want to move on. So if a soul is resistant to dying or feels like they had unfinished business, there's a good chance that they will be in this space. If they died while they were in a coma or if they died while in their sleep, there's also a good chance that they're in this space sleeping and just not even knowing what happened. So that's the astral realm. Sorry, I talked about it too much, to be honest. Way too much. Okay. So there are four different parts to the Astral Realm deep dive session that we do. And so I'm going to go over each of those. But I needed to give you that background on what the Astral Realm is. Um, Astral Realm work is typically performed by like a shaman. Um, when you think of someone traveling to the underworld, that's like a shamanic work that normally they'll go into a trance and they'll go and take care of that for someone. I am not a shaman. Not in this lifetime, at least. I know I've done it in other lifetimes, and the fact that I've done it in other lifetimes is probably what made me think it's so fascinating in this lifetime. So anytime There's something in this lifetime that you are just fascinated with. And you don't know why. You're like, oh, this isn't my culture. This isn't something I ever knew about growing up. But I really am into this. It's because you have a past life with it, or many past lives with it. So the astral realm work is the first work that I ever learned before I could talk to Metatron, before I could channel. I was working with Azrael in the astral realm. So this it was a really weird entry point into the spiritual world, but this is how I did it. Is that the astral realm was the first thing I did. Um, and so my whole goal was I want to help these departed souls get back to heaven, get back to God. And so I had lots and lots of protection from my guides. Um, I probably should have gotten attacked a lot for being down there, not knowing what I was doing in the beginning as I was learning things, but I had so much protection. I did have I did have a problem at one point where I had an entity that was stalking me. Um, so it wasn't always perfect, and I learned a lot because from my own experiences, from having to deal with demons, kind of the backlash from them coming into my space, them being angry with me, them trying to cause trouble with me, all of that taught me not to fear them, and it taught me to problem solve, and it taught me to come up with methods that can protect myself and my family from them. And so that's kind of been a huge benefit because now I pass on that knowledge to the viewers and I'm able to help other people protect themselves. So it's been a good thing overall for sure. Um Okay, so the four parts to the Astro Realm deep dive. One, the first thing that I do as part of that service is that I look for past lives of the client that are still in the astral realm. So the reason that's a thing is because your soul or your oversoul or your higher self can multiply your soul. They can duplicate the soul. So everyone, thank you. He's validating. Everyone is living multiple lifetimes at once right now. So there are other humans on Earth that are your soul, probably several of them. Also, potentially on other planets, you're living lifetimes right now. And so the soul does this because it can. And why not learn and experience more and faster? Why not? So, because of that, let's say you have, I don't know, let's say you have 50 concurrent lifetimes that you're living right now on Earth. There's 50 of you, and 10 of them die. And maybe 5 of them go back through the light, and 5 of them are like, ah, I had a horrible death. I'm scared and I don't know what to do. And they get stuck in the astral realm. And so your oversoul, your higher self, just keeps creating more souls because it can. It's like, okay, those 5 are stuck. No big deal. It just keeps creating more, keeps creating more. And so over time, you can have a lot of different past lives stuck in this astral realm. So you can have a lot of different souls stuck in the astral realm. So I go in there and I locate all of your past lives and I move them back through the light. And the benefit of doing that is that the experiences and knowledge that were gained by these other parts of you, by these other souls that are you don't have access to their experiences and to their abilities until they've died and returned back to the higher self, where they then download their experiences back into the whole, back into your higher self. And then once it's in your higher self, you on Earth or you on whatever planet, you now can access that information from the higher self. So, a lot of times when I return past lives, it returns access to magical knowledge, mystical knowledge, clairvoyance, clairaudience, different psychic gifts, different psychic abilities. So, that's the benefit of doing that. It also just kind of makes people feel more whole in general. The second thing that we do in the astral realm is that I will do the same process of locating souls, but this time I'm doing it for your ancestral line. So I will take a look at your biological mother, your biological father, and all ancestors all the way back on your mother's side and all the way back on your father's side. So grandparents, great grandparents, and I just keep going back. And so if any of them are stuck in the astral realm, I'll go ahead and move them on as well. Um, the benefit to doing this is that a lot of times, if you have an ancestor that's in the astral realm, like I mentioned earlier, a lot of times they like to check up on their descendants. And so they will be ghosts or visitors, spiritual visitors for their descendants. The reason that this is a problem is that when a soul, when you pass away, you no longer have a body, so you're no longer connected to the energy of the earth. You've also not yet returned to God. You are not connected to the energy of God yet either. So you're cut off from the two sources of energy. So because of that, you are kind of like an energy vacuum. So when the departed soul comes to interact with you, they kind of drain some of your energy on accident. They don't mean to. It just happens. It's just the nature of energy. And the other problem is that whatever low vibrational energy they're in, if they're in sadness or anger or fear, whenever they come into your energy, if you are sensitive to energy, or even if you're not, you have the potential to be feeling their emotions thinking it's yours. So obviously that's a problem. So that is the second part of the work that I do. The third part is seeing if you've ever given up any of your soul parts and then returning those to you. So, the way this happens, so not only can your higher self multiply itself into multiple souls, but each of those souls, let's just take your soul has the ability to separate off a part of the soul from the whole. The reason this happens, it can be lots of reasons. Normally, it's a traumatic event. So, if you're in a lifetime and you're being attacked, you're being assaulted, you're being raped, you're being killed, part of your soul, without your knowledge, might just leave because it's traumatic and it doesn't want to experience the trauma. And so it leaves. And that could be for all kinds of different trauma. It could be like long term illness, it could be um, chronic domestic abuse, it could be anything. So the soul leaves. And the soul, because it's not connected to the energy sources it needs to be connected to, it ends up in the astral realm. The other thing that can happen is that people sometimes willingly or kind of consciously, purposely give up a soul part, usually when they have done something to wrong a person and they feel guilty. They want to try to make it better. And they will, or sometimes the person has died, or there's lots of different situations, but they purposely give up a part of their soul to try to stay connected or to try to fix something with this other soul. And the other soul cannot use the soul part. It's not helpful to them at all. And now you're missing a soul part, and that's detrimental to you. So those soul parts can have talents, abilities, knowledge, and it's just we want to get those back to you to make you more whole. So I will go to the astral realm and I will locate those and I will return those back into your energetic body. The fourth part of this service is, and this is like optional, I offer to locate three different individuals who have passed away that you would like me to check on to see if they're in the astral realm. So sometimes people have friends, um, spouses, cousins, whatever the case may be, individuals who have passed away, and they want to make sure that they've moved on and they have that peace of mind, especially if this is, like I said, a traumatic death, someone who's been murdered, someone um, who's died by suicide, or just died suddenly and unexpectedly or at a young age. And those are the types of souls that tend to get stuck there. So I will take a look at up to three individuals and I will locate them. And if they've moved on, great. And if they haven't moved on, then I make sure they move on. So those are the four parts of the service. So it's not a very typical service. Not everyone may feel like they need this in their life, depending. Um, but it is called Astro Realm Deep Dive because it's really digging deep into the spiritual realm of things. Um, it's just a little bit more in detail on your spiritual side, getting your soul parts back and clearing out your past lives and your ancestral line and making sure nobody's haunting you and messing with your energy type of thing. So, if you're interested in this service for free, there's going to be one winner. Put a comment on this video, and I'll probably give it 2 days. And just for everyone in the first 2 days to be able to view the video and comment, and then Metatron will pick a winner, and I will let you guys all know. And thank you everybody for making this possible. I'm really excited that I have a 100th video, and I'm excited to see who Metatron picks as the winner. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.